Most people wake up and immediately fall into the same invisible trap. They rush, they react, they drift into the day without intention, pulled by alarms, notifications, and demands before they have even claimed their own mind. But what if the first 10 minutes of your morning could rewire the direction of your entire future? What if a single decision made before the world speaks to you could reshape your mindset, redefine your identity, and quietly dictate the level of success you experience? The truth is simple and unforgiving. The way you begin is the way you become. Your future does not start at work, or in traffic, or in conversation with others. It starts the moment you open your eyes. That first moment is a crossroads, and most people never realize they are standing at one. The morning is a mirror. If someone could follow you for a single morning, they could predict your future with unsettling accuracy. Not because they are prophetic or wise, but because your morning reveals your discipline, your direction, and your desires. Most people rise in reaction. They wake to alarms, to urgency, to obligations they did not choose. They allow the world to knock on their door before they ever knock on the door of opportunity. But those who build powerful lives rise with intention. Every great structure stands on a foundation, and your foundation is your morning. What you do before the world sees you determines how the world responds to you. The first hour after waking is not just time passing, it is a declaration. It quietly says either you are in control or you are controlled. When you step out of bed, you must step into purpose. You must reject the noise before it reaches you. No news, no gossip, no borrowed opinions. Only clarity, only focus, only the inner voice that reminds you that you are not here to merely survive, but to build, to lead, to conquer. The moment you hesitate, the moment you drift or reach for comfort, you hand your power to fear. You signal to the day that it owns you. But when you rise with intention, when you speak your goals aloud, when you write them down and take one small step forward, you take command. That command becomes your compass. The morning does not give you power, it reveals it. Used correctly, it multiplies it. You do not become unshakable through occasional effort, but through what you do first, consistently, before excuses have time to speak. Your thoughts are soil. Your focus is water. Your actions are sunlight. Feed your mind these three things every morning, and your life will bear fruit beyond measure. Ask yourself who you want to become, then begin becoming that person before breakfast. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is choosing to do one hard thing first. Something uncomfortable, something your mind resists, something that challenges you before the day has a chance to weaken you. Once you do it, resistance loses its grip. This is the quiet weapon of high achievers. They do not wait for motivation, they manufacture it through action. The mind is like a muscle. Train it to surrender to comfort, and it will abandon you in crisis. Train it to obey strength, and it will become your greatest ally. That one hard thing does not need to be dramatic. It could be cold water on your face, a few minutes of silence, physical movement, or writing a single page. What matters is commitment. When you do something difficult every morning, you reinforce an identity. You remind yourself that you are someone who does not shrink under pressure, but sharpens because of it. Most people hit snooze and slowly disappear into the day. You rise and engage it. Most people wait for permission. You initiate. That edge, that energy, separates a powerful life from a passive one. When the first decision of your day is victory, the rest of the day begins to follow your lead. Words matter, especially the first ones you speak. Words create worlds. The language you use in the morning does not just describe your life, it programs it. Most people wake up and speak defeat without realizing it. They say they are tired, stressed, overwhelmed, and then wonder why their day feels heavy. Their life simply reflects their language, but you can choose differently. You can wake up and declare strength. You can remind yourself that you were built for challenge, that today is an opportunity to build momentum, that you carry peace and power into every space you enter. This is not pretending. It is programming. The subconscious mind does not argue with repetition. It believes what you consistently tell it. When you speak life, your body follows, your habits follow, and your destiny begins to align. The body itself is a trigger. It is not just a vehicle that carries you through the day, it is a signal to your mind. When you move your body, you shift your mental state. Slumped shoulders feed a defeated mind. Shallow breathing invites anxious thoughts. Physiology writes psychology. That is why movement must be part of your morning. Not perfection, not intensity, but engagement. Stand tall. Breathe deeply, walk with purpose, stretch, sweat, move. When the body moves, the brain aligns. Energy begins to flow, clarity sharpens, and confidence rises. You do not need the perfect workout, you need motion. Even 10 minutes is enough to shift you from passive to powerful. Winners move. They do not linger in hesitation or lounge in limitation. Motion creates emotion. If you want to feel different, you must move differently. There is a quiet, fleeting moment just after you wake up, a space before the world has touched you. In that moment, your mind is open, impressionable, undefended. Most people waste this window without knowing it. They reach for news, for messages, for the voices of others to define the tone of their day. Their still vulnerable mind is flooded with crises, comparisons, and urgency that does not belong to them. Worry settles in. Peace disappears. Before the sun has fully risen, they have already surrendered the inner battle. But there are others, rare and intentional, who treat the morning as a launch pad for destiny. They understand that real leadership begins in silence, behind closed doors, before anyone is watching. These individuals reach inward before reaching outward. They anchor their identity with affirmations, visualize who they are becoming, breathe deeply, and move their bodies with purpose. They choose clarity over confusion, direction over distraction. The first 10 minutes are not small. They set the rhythm for everything that follows. Power in those minutes produces alignment in the hours ahead. Distraction there creates reaction everywhere else. You do not have time to wake up weak, not in a world this loud and demanding. You must claim that first moment and decide what matters most before the world decides for you. This is not about tricks or trends. It is about self-leadership. Every morning is a meeting with your mind. Do not miss it. Do not arrive late or allow someone else to speak in your place. Show up, speak clearly, and remind yourself who you are and why you are here. The headlines can wait. Messages can wait. Your purpose cannot. Your mind is your mission, and leadership begins there. When you wake, your thoughts rush in like water from a fire hose. Ideas, worries, memories, and flashes of insight collide all at once. If you do not capture them, they disappear. Unwritten ideas fade. Unwritten goals become wishes. This is why those who build meaningful lives write early, before the day imposes itself. Writing is not about being poetic. It is about being precise. It brings order to chaos and gives shape to thought. Writing turns fog into form. It slows the rush and allows you to hear yourself clearly. When you put pen to paper, you signal that your thoughts matter. You begin to organize your inner world. Writing becomes a mirror, a filter, and an anchor. It removes doubt, strengthens vision, and transforms scattered emotion into direction. The great minds understood this. They did not trust memory with destiny. They wrote to lead themselves. What you do not write down, you do not remember. What you do not remember, you do not act on. And what you do not act on, you never become. Gratitude then grounds it all. Gratitude is not weakness or sentiment. It is leverage. It centers you and reminds you that you are starting from abundance, not emptiness. When you begin your day acknowledging what is already good, the world loses its ability to make you feel small. Gratitude rewires perception. It shifts you from lack to sufficiency, from complaint to creation. You cannot build a powerful life from resentment. Strength grows from appreciation. In the quiet of morning, name what you are grateful for. Speak it or write it. Simple things matter. Breath, strength, shelter, opportunity. This practice aligns you spiritually and mentally. It activates confidence without desperation. Gratitude does not kill ambition. It fuels it. You stop chasing to prove yourself and start building to express who you already are. Clarity then demands focus. Each day needs one clear target, not 10, not 5, 1. Power comes from precision. Ask yourself what single action will move your mission forward today. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Everything else becomes secondary. When you wake with focus, distractions lose their grip. A person with a mission is not easily moved. One win builds momentum. Momentum builds belief. Belief builds action, and action compounds into results. Stillness completes the cycle. Before the noise begins, claim 10 minutes of silence. This is not laziness, it is leadership. Stillness sharpens intuition, regulates emotion, and restores alignment. In a world addicted to speed, stillness is rebellion. It is how you hear truth, forge peace, and prepare for pressure. From stillness, clarity rises. From clarity, decisive action follows. And finally, before your feet touch the floor, you must decide who you will be. Identity comes before action. Ask yourself who you need to be today to become who you want to be forever. Will you be courageous or cautious, present or distracted, purposeful or passive? Feelings do not lead. Vision does. Choose your identity before the world assigns one to you. Speak it aloud. Stand in it. Walk in it. Let your behavior confirm your decision. When doubt appears, return to that choice and choose again. This is how purpose replaces wandering, how conviction replaces confusion, how greatness is forged through daily decision. Let the world adjust to you, not the other way around, because when you lead yourself with intention, the world begins to follow. Because when you lead yourself with intention, the world begins to follow. Leadership is not something you switch on when others are watching. It is not reserved for moments of recognition or responsibility. Leadership is forged in private, in the unseen decisions you make when no one is applauding. Every morning, before your name is spoken by anyone else, you have the chance to speak it to yourself with authority. You are not a product of chance or circumstance. You are a force of choice, and choice exercised daily becomes character. The world will try to label you, shape you, compress you into a form that suits its convenience. It will rush you, distract you, and attempt to define your worth by speed, noise, or external approval. But you were not built to be managed by the moods of the day. You were built to manage your own mind. Each morning offers you a clean slate, not to repeat yesterday, but to recommit to who you are becoming. Ask yourself with clarity and courage who you need to be today to move one step closer to your highest self. This question is not theoretical. It is practical. It shapes how you speak, how you listen, how you respond under pressure. Too many people allow feelings to dictate identity. When they feel tired, they act weak. When they feel uncertain, they shrink. But feelings are not leaders. They are followers. They follow discipline. They follow vision. They follow the identity you choose, not the one handed to you by circumstance. When you decide who you are before the day begins, you stop being reactive and start being intentional. Your posture changes. Your tone carries weight. Your presence becomes grounded. Others may not be able to explain it, but they feel it. Certainty is magnetic. This is not about pretending to be someone you are not. It is about preparing to become who you already know you must be. Preparation happens in advance. It happens in stillness, in repetition, in quiet conviction. Stand in front of the mirror and speak the virtues you choose to carry: strength, patience, discipline, resilience. Speak them not as wishes, but as commitments. Words shape focus. Focus shapes behavior. Behavior shapes identity. Identity shapes legacy. Every life leaves a trace. The question is whether yours will be accidental or intentional. When doubt creeps in, and it will, return to your decision. Anchor yourself again. Choose again. This is the difference between wandering and walking with purpose. Wandering is aimless and exhausting. Purpose is demanding, but it is clear. Greatness is not stumbled upon. It is stepped into deliberately, again and again, through choice and conviction. It is forged through daily identity decisions, not dramatic moments. Before you answer a call, open an app, or step into conversation, decide who you are. Choose to be someone your future self will respect. When you lead yourself this way, the world begins to adjust. Opportunities align. People respond differently, not because you demand it, but because you embody it. understand this clearly. Winning the morning is not about perfection. It is about alignment. You will still face challenges. You will still encounter resistance, but you will meet them grounded, centered, and prepared. When the morning is claimed, the day becomes manageable. When the day is managed, the weeks gain momentum. When momentum compounds, a life is built by design, not chance. This is how ordinary days become extraordinary over time. Not through intensity alone, but through consistency. Not through noise, but through discipline. The rituals you practice in silence shape the outcomes you experience in public. The world celebrates results, but results are born in routine. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems, and your morning is the most powerful system you will ever build. Protect it. Guard it fiercely. Do not treat it as optional or negotiable. It is the birthplace of clarity, confidence, and control. When you own the morning, you own your narrative. You stop living in reaction to others and start living in alignment with purpose. You stop asking for permission and start moving with authority. Remember, no one is coming to save your mornings for you. No one is coming to claim your focus, your discipline, or your destiny on your behalf. This is your responsibility and your privilege. Each sunrise is an invitation. Accept it consciously. Rise with intention. Move with purpose. Speak with conviction. Write with clarity. Give thanks with humility. Focus with precision. Sit in stillness with courage. Decide who you will be before the world decides for you. Do this not once, not occasionally, but daily. Over